Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. So, a very good evening to all. I believe that we are live now. And those who are watching me live, could you please give me the confirmation? Am I properly visible, clearly audible, or not? Those who are there with me in the live. We'll wait for a few minutes so that everyone will join and then we will start our today's live. It's quite interesting, interesting use case, I would say, which we will discuss today with respect to the Llama Index model. I don't know how many of you are aware about this LLM large language models and this uh, complete application of chat gpt itself, right? I'll give you a brief overview and then we will jump towards the today's agenda, where I have a guest also with me, which is Reenal, and she will try to explain to you the complete end-to-end project which she has done. It's a completely interesting use case. At the very first moment when she connected with me via LinkedIn and she shared with me this use case, I really find it very much interesting, and that's why we are here, right? So I hope, how many of you are aware about the large language models, the application of chat gpt, how internally it works? The brief use case, I think everyone is aware, right? Transformers is the is something, is the model which is, I would say, language model which is working internally to help us in order to give us the response which we are getting in a chat gpt. Now, what is the major issue in the chat GPT? For example, let's say you want to do something with respect to your own part. For example, you have your own data, which is a private to you, and you want to ask something with respect to that part in the chat GPT. Obviously, it will not able to give you a response. Why? Because chat GPT doesn't have any idea about your specific data set that you have, right? That is where this llama index came into picture. And without wasting any time, I will uh, take up on the stage Renal, and she will try to introduce you what this llama index helps us to, in order to generate the Bhagavad Gita responses. A pretty much important and interesting use case which I really like. Hi Renal, how are you? I think you are muted. Can you unmute yourself? Your voice is not clear.
Yeah, thanks, Priya. Thanks. Hello, everyone, and thanks. It's honor to be on the stage and inviting me for the podcast, Priya. It's a great platform where I see I can showcase the whatever the use case which I have built. And thanks for the invitation, actually.
By the way, it's the very first use case which I'm looking into it. Bhagavad Gita is something I think everyone is already aware, I believe. It might be the case that many people have not read it completely, the Bhagavad Gita, but the major problems that we always face in our life, I think we already have a solution in that Bhagavad Gita. So it's really interesting use case, and I believe that if we will show to them, the audience of today's part, that how this Bhagavad Gita we are trying to, you are trying to do that fine tuning, and how it is giving us the response. Maybe they will be able to get an idea that how the learning should happen, how we can, learning is not about reading the theoretical stuffs, but also doing the implementation on top of that, and that too practical, which I think everyone will be able to help, right? So very great, very great. Uh, so can you talk about yourself first before we will move ahead towards the project part?
Yes, Priya. So myself, Reenal, I'm basically from India, right now in Sweden. So I consider myself highly motivated and adaptable professional. So in both software and the software development and the data scientist in the data field. So overall, I have a six plus. Overall, I have an 8+ years of experience, whereas 6+ as in the backend development and 3 years into the professional develop into the data science field. So I have worked with a couple of organizations in Sweden and in India. So it's good to work in a both environment, get to know the different work cultures. So this is quite bit about me actually.
That's
Uh,
super.
yeah.
So you have worked both in India and outside India. What is the major difference you would be able to find out? You have said about
Huh.
work culture.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I see there are quite lots of difference which I see. One of the difference is definitely the work culture. How the here the work culture is there, and how in India work culture is there. So one of the thing
Hmm.
I definitely want to share is the flat organization. So here
Okay.
everyone works on the flat organization. So even I can, so CEO can sit next to me, I can talk to the CEO, and it's like that. And in India, it's quite difficult. So we have the hierarchical organization. So we have the team lead, manager, etc., and all the stuff. So, this is
Yeah,
one
but
of
in
the difference
startups,
which I feel, which I
in
see,
startups in
and
India, it's also possible,
definitely
right?
work life. Startups, yeah, but yeah, I can say, but still it's quite difficult, I can say. And work-life balance, second work-life balance, I think so. I see quite good here in compared to India.
Okay.
Definitely, I can say.
Okay. That's super. Okay. So, first of all, what is your inspiration behind creating a chart board which is completely based on Bhagavad Gita? Like, how do you think that this can be
Very,
a
very,
use
very
case?
good question. Yeah, yeah, it's extremely good question actually. So like, so here I have couple of friends which in Sweden. So we usually meet with we mingle and we meet. So everyone is in their life is different. So in Diwali vacation, I came to India. So I was chatting with my friends, which are there in IT as well as in non-IT. So everyone, I feel, they are going something about ups and downs actually, and they're trying to find some of the answers actually. So personally, I feel I have read the Gita, and what I feel the Gita is not only the book; it's the way of the living actually. So way of the living, it teaches the way of how you can live actually. And I always find the Gita is the answers to whatever the questions which we have. So we every time get a questions like why this and what is this and what about like why is me and all that aspect. So I always find the Gita. So whenever I got some question, I always look for the Gita for the answer. So Gita is full of an answer. So this is what my inspiration is for creating the chatbot, so that see, like the people like the student or the professional or anybody can go to that chatbot and just type if like, so for example, what is love, what is karma, so they can just get a gist of it. So that's what my intention or the motivation of creating the chatbot actually.
Okay, I think she's facing some trouble, might be. Uh, let's wait. Okay. So meanwhile, what I will do is I'll try to share the screen with you all with respect to whatever projects she has made. Meanwhile, she's connecting with me again. I hope so. Otherwise, I'll continue the part. So I think you already have. Can you guys give me the confirmation? Uh, is this clearly visible? The screen is clearly visible to everyone. Is the screen is visible to everyone? Yes. So basically, if you will be able to see, this is her profile. You can also go and check it out. Gita Chatbot Tree Master. So here, if you can see everything, she has written it very clearly. Here, if you can see the tech stack which she has uses Python, LangChain, Flask, Meta, and Pinecone, right? So here, if you will be able to see, let me go inside this architecture. This is where you will be able to see the complete end-to-end flow chart. I thought that if she will be the one, if she can be here and explain to everyone, that would be great actually. So let's see if she will be able to join. Otherwise, I'll try to explain to you the complete end-to-end part. So basically, what usually happens, until so far, if you will be able to observe, whenever we will be having a chat gpt based architecture, what usually happens is that, you know, the major issue was that, let's say if anyone wants to add their own personal data, be it anything, it's not about Bhagavad Gita, or it's not about any other doctor based aspect also. So you can see that nowadays we have Dr. GPT, right? Even when, if you will be having that uh, option of chat gpt plus, you will see explore your gpt's option. Yesterday only I have my subscription got expired, otherwise I will show you also. In the normal chat gpt, we don't have this kind of option. But whenever we are talking about this renew option, in the upgrade part, you will be able to see that you can explore the chat gpt and you can create your own gpts on top of that. So basically what we are trying to do here is we are trying to add our own custom data on top of the uh, large language models which we have, because we can't train from scratch any kind of a data. What we want to do is that, okay, we already have a model built. What we're supposed to do, we can add our own data. So what she has tried to do is she has tried to take a Bhagavad Gita. Okay, she has tried to take a Bhagavad Gita completely end to end. And if you will be able to observe, Bhagavad Gita PDF is available online. So what she has done is she has tried to upload that PDF as such, and again she's tried to convert that into a vector. So what usually happens is that, Rinal, are you here? Maybe if there is a network issue, you can just
Hello.
unmute yourself and be it. Yeah, yeah. Now you're audible.
Sorry. Yeah, there is some network issue from my side, actually. Sorry.
Yes, you can continue from here. So I was just telling to them that, what she has done is she has taken a PDF of Bhagavad Gita and tried to upload it there. So what's the next step you have done? You can try to explain to them.
So
Data
I think so.
ingestion
The
is done.
answer to the previous question, have you got it? Like the motivation behind the creating
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
So I
That
think
was
so. I
clearly audible.
That was clearly audible. So yeah. So how I started developing this use case actually. So here I just jot down the pipeline. You can say some of the basic architecture. So you see the PDF file, the data ingestion, the PDF for the Bhagavad Gita, which is readily available on the net. Then I extract that data. Actually, data collection part is there. Then, as you see, like, and we cannot put a whole PDF into the this model, any kind of the model. So the number of the token or the number of the size which you can put it into the model is restricted. Like if you see there are number of, if you see the different model 4,000 something which is there for the Llama 2 and something like that. So you cannot put at all whole bunch of the PDF as the thing. So you need to divide that PDF into the different chunks actually. So you need to break down into the different chunk size actually. So I have, after extracting the data, I divide that corpus, or you can say entire PDF into into this different chunk. So after dividing into the chunks, what I did is you cannot feed the text data into this kind of the large language model, as definitely you need to convert that text data into the numbers actually. So how you convert the numbers, there are different encoding techniques are there, or different encoding models are there. So I use one of the Hugging Face encoding model for converting the text data into the numbers. After getting that encoding, actually after getting the text data into the numbers, so I build a semantic index. What is the semantic index is like? So it's like a clustering with the common attributes, or you can say common parameter. For example, a male and female or the human being belongs to the one cluster or the one index. Animal belongs to the other index. So it's kind of the semantic index I created. Then most important stuff is the knowledge base. So after creating this semantic index, you need to store that index into the some of the databases. So I use the Pinecode as a vector database actually. So there are different vector database where you can use like the Chroma DB and Cassandra. So you can use whatever it's fit or whatever whichever you are comfortable with. So I use the Pinecode as vector database where I store the knowledge base. So this is what the initial steps, this is what I have created. Once the knowledge base is stored into the database, so user can write any query, right? So for example, what is karma? Then that, as I mentioned, you cannot feed or you cannot put the text into the model. So you have to convert that text into the embedding. So that's, I converted that text into the query embedding, and then I search in the knowledge base, I stored in the vector db. So I get a different rank results actually. So I get a different response for that particular query, like three results or the four results. So rank based result which I get, I then put that result and the query index to the llm to get a relevant, or you can get closest to that questions. You can get the closest context, or you can say the closest result to that query. So then after getting that response from the llm, I just feed it to the users. So this is a final response which I feed it to the user. So the response from the knowledge base and the query index, we feed it into the LLM to get a final response. So this is how the overall architectures look like actually.
Okay, so the complete pipeline is
Hello.
clear to everyone. Whatever she has explained. Any doubt in this part? So, Reenal, can you talk more about? See, it's easy to understand PDF file. Then we have extracted the data. Then we have divided into chunks. Then we have made the embeddings because textual data is not there. Can you talk more about this building a semantic index, like what we are doing here? Maybe if you can elaborate more, audience will be able to understand in a much better way. Meanwhile, can you guys give me the confirmation that is this part is clear? What she tries to explain? Anyone? Any doubt? Reenal, are you there in the call? I think she is again facing some trouble. Maybe let her connect again. Maybe. So, is this complete pipeline is clear? So basically, this is how the complete pipeline will be done. So when she is saying that building a semantic index, right, and then getting a knowledge base, what she is trying to do is, if you will be able to understand the how the basically what to work usually does, like uh, it tries to create an embedding, and then whichever, for example, there's a famous example, right? King, queen, man, women, and when we do the subtraction or addition in terms of vectors, we will be able to get the response. The similar kind of a thing we are doing here as well, where there will be a user who is passing a query. For example, she has shown me the result as well. If she will be able to properly join it again, I'll tell her to to see the to show the results as well. For example, let's say she is mentioning what is karma in the query itself. So what is happening is, automatically internally query embedding will convert that query into the vectors, because that is what we want, because my model will not able to understand what is the textual data which I am entering, what is the query I am mentioning. So what is happening is, it will again go to the llm, and then here we will be having with the help of a pinecone knowledge base, it will try to check that whichever matches with the greatest result, which is having a maximum similarity score, it will try to give the ranking of that particular result. And then, for example, in Bhagavad Gita, maybe in some of the PDF format, at some particular adhyay, it is mentioned that karma is this or that. So that point of time, we are getting that particular response, which is having a maximum, I would say, rank or similarity score. Okay? So this is how the complete architecture will work. The way the output was, displaying what is karma, or there are so many things. For example, what is love? The way it is showing to us, it makes a lot of sense, because usually what happens as young people, as far as I can observe, around me as well, it's quite difficult, and people usually feel sometimes boring to read the Bhagavad Gita. But if we will be having this kind of a chatbot, where let's say if I will be getting some sort of a trouble in life, and I want to write some question in the chatbot with respect to that part, I'll try to explain the problem, whatever problem I'm facing in my personal life. Nowadays it's quite common to have a mental stress, to have some depression, to have some anxiety with respect to the personal issues, or maybe with respect to the professional life as well. It's very common, right? It's very common. So at that point of time, if let's say we will be having, if we will be having, with the help of this AI tool, this kind of a chatbot where we can mention our problem statement, and we'll try to say that, what Bhagavad Gita answers to us based on the complete PDF, because maybe we don't able to understand, we don't able to read it completely, but at least whatever the lessons Bhagavad Gita will be able to give to us, we can implement it in our life. And that is what the complete idea behind sharing this kind of a stuff. What is Llama Index? It's a complete documentation which I would suggest to everyone. Please go through it. Right here, you will be able to see this is the documentation where you can see it's a data framework for LLM based application, which basically benefits from the context augmentation. Now, why the context augmentation is required? What we are doing here? Everything is mentioned here that large language models offer a natural language interface between the human and the data. So widely available models come pre-trained on a huge amount of data, which is publicly available data like Wikipedia, mailing list, textbook, source code, and many more things. Now, they're not trained on your data. That is the major thing which I also have said to you in the initial part, that let's say I want to train on my data. Bhagavad Gita is, let's say, something which is a Bhagavad GPT. I want to train on that particular data. I want that kind of a response. So in that case, what we will do is, which may be private or specific to the problem you are trying to solve. So it's where we will be able to either fine tune an LM based on our data, which may be expensive, which may be hard to update, which may require observability, which is lacking here. So that is where this Llama index came into picture, right? I think Reenal is again with us. Let's take her on the stage if she's having a proper internet. Hi, Reenal. Is the voices clearly audible to you? Can you speak up? How to convert the text into vectors? So there exist so many segmentation algorithms we have, right? There exist so many segmentation algorithms we have in natural language processing. For example, on a high level, you will observe we have word to vec, right? We have TF-IDF vectorizer. So basically, the complete idea of getting that segmentation, the vector process to be done, is because my model will not be able to understand what the text is all about. And let's say I want to understand the semantic or the meaning of the context as well. That is where these models, word embeddings, will come into picture. And one more important thing is, if you will be able to observe in the architecture also, we can't pass the complete data depending upon what kind of models we are using, right? We are depending upon that, dividing it into a chunks. Okay.
Hello.
So yes, Rinal, am I audible to you now?
Yeah, sorry, actually, I don't know, some glitch is there in network, but I'm back.
That's great. That's great. So, can you do you have any snapshot, or can you show the output as well, like how the model is
Hmm.
behaving when we are entering the queries and when we are getting the responses?
Yeah, so I think so. The architecture I have explained. At that time I'm audible, right? So I think so. The audience got the architecture, right?
Yes, yes, they got the architecture. If you can explain more about this, so One question they are
Okay.
asking how the text will be converted into vectors. I think I have already explained the answer. But if
You
you can
have,
also share your thoughts on that, you can also
yeah.
share.
Sure, definitely. So how we can convert text into the vector or the number? So there are different methods how you can convert text into the number. So there are statics method or the frequency based method where you can convert the text into the numbers, and there another is a dynamic method where you use the neural network for converting text into the numbers actually. So most of the embedding models which you see in the Hugging Face or any other like in the net wherever, so that's the neural network based models, and instead of the statics like the frequency based method like TFIF and other things, the neural network methods will always give you the better performance because it captures the context more accurately. So that's what I want to convey to the audience. So always whenever you want to convert text into the number, always go with a neural network based method, not a static method. So
Any method which
that
you can name here with respect to neural network based methods?
neural network, yeah, definitely, name
Means which
um,
you are referring any references like, for
hmm,
example, word to
hmm.
wake basically tries to get that semantic as well, right? So when we are
Yeah,
trying
word
to
to work,
convert
yeah, hmm,
when we are
hmm,
trying
hmm,
to
hmm,
convert
hmm,
any
hmm.
word into a vector. So another thing is which I want you to
Bag of
explain is this build semantic index part. If you can highlight this part again.
build semantics index path, actually definitely you so when in the vector db you stores the data, you need to build the index out of that. So as I mentioned, you just need to classify, you need to clear the clusters, you need to gather the similar kind of the vectors together. So for example, all the human beings into the one cluster, all the animals into the one cluster. So that is what I mean by the semantic, creating the semantic index actually.
Correct. uh, Output, can
I
you share?
want to tell little about the creating the embedding. As I mentioned, the network
Mhm.
neural network based
Mhm.
method, the bag of the word, actually the bag of the word. So if you
Yes, correct.
say I am renal, so the middle word I am is a target word, and the rest of the word I and renal is a input to the neural network. And the weight, so you as every if people know the deep learning and if you know how the gradient descent work, so middle word is what the target word, and the rest of the two word is the input word. And when you feed that input and you train that neural network, the weight when you change that, when you do the gradient descent, and that's what the weight, or that's what an embedding which we get it actually.
Okay. uh, I hope we can move ahead, everyone. Can we move ahead with respect to the next part? So if we can show to them, Renal, the output as well, that would be great, so that they can relate with respect to whatever things we have said here. By the way,
Sure.
if you want to see whatever code work she has done, you can just go to her profile and check out the complete part. She has already mentioned the instructions as well. What is the setup? How you can do that? How you can get the output? Everything she has already mentioned, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen. So I want the project right now which I've run is in the local. I want to show the output. Let me share the screen. Uh, you able to see the screen?
Yes, your screen is visible.
So before going to the part, I want to explain how we wrap up into the application. I have wrap up into the flasks and all. So can I tell that, or I just can I tell the output actually? So quickly, let me go and tell that as well. Actually, it will be good. So this is a data, as I mentioned, the PDF file.
So your
Uh,
screen is not visible. Your that particular screen is not, code file screen is not visible. Output screen
code
is visible.
code line, yeah, share the screen. I think so, entire window. Yeah, enter screen. Now,
Just wait for, yeah, now it is visible.
so quickly, I will give you the glimpse of this GitHub. So if you see, there are different folder structures. So here in the data folder, I have the data. In the model folder, I have the instruction file. So if you see, this is a Llama model which I have used it. Okay, and uh, so here I put the instruction for downloading that, and here the research notebook. So before I convert it into the object oriented way, before I convert into the application, I try to run into the try that experiment into the notebook, and I then convert it into the application. And if you see, this is a src4 folder where I keep the helper function which I've needed into the application. So for example, loading PDF, uh, uh, creating the chunk, or downloading the model, embedding model from the Hugging Face. So if you see from so which model I have used from the Hugging Face is a mini LM. So I have created the embedding model from the Hugging Face, and
So I think network issue again from her side. I believe so. So yeah, you can just go and explore about this. I already have shared the link in the description of this particular YouTube video, right? You can just check it out. Usually in the live, these things uh, usually doesn't happen, and it should not happen. But sometimes there will be a bad luck. It's completely fine. Maybe she also might not be aware about this network part also. These things happen usually. It's okay. So I was sharing to you one thing in the documentation part. Meanwhile, let's see if she can join us. This thing I was talking about, that just try to read it step by step, because these things are very very important nowadays. If you will be able to observe, people are spending a lot of time, startups are spending a lot of time on these LLM based models. uh, so here, if you will be able to see, there is something called as context augmentation, which specifically this Llama index model is doing. And that is something which you have to understand, that what is this context augmentation, where what basically we are doing, why Llama index is for the context augmentation. Even I was looking the founder of this particular Llama index, and I was looking into his profile, and I found it pretty much amazing that he's not that much. He has graduated from 2017. The name is Jerry Liu. He's the CEO of Llama Index, and if you can see his experience, he has worked in companies, and then he is the currently co-founder of this Llama Index, who has developed this particular thing. So I was just exploring his profile, and then the way the things will be done, it's quite interesting, right? So basically, at any point of time, whatever GPTs which you are seeing nowadays, in the advanced version, whatever explore GPT's option you are seeing, there's doctors GPT, there is a Bhagavad Gita GPT, there is a even you can create your own custom GPT where you want whatever data you want to create. For example, I am a YouTuber. I want to see that at what point of time I will be able to get a maximum reach. At what point of time I should schedule my videos. At what point of time I should, schedule what kind of videos. For example, some people are liking career based, some people are liking DSA based, some people are liking data science based, some people are liking the podcast. So at that point of time, maybe I will send that YouTube studio analysis completely end to end on my chatbot, and it will be able to give me the complete end-to-end illustration of how the things will go. People are using that as well. So I really want you all, the only objective to share this kind of a podcast is that so she also has learned, right? So while learning only, she got an idea to create this kind of a project. So I also want you all to think over it. For example, whenever you're learning something, try to see that what kind of use case which you can solve. For example, if she can optimize it, and if she can, try to work upon the project, she was showing some output as well. I will try to attach the snapshot of the output in the screen. I think she has joined. Let's see if she can, if she will be there, then we will see the output as well. So what I was saying is that, whenever you're trying to learn something new, try to see that how you can do the implementation for the same. Try to see that, uh, how you can provide something which is not already available to the community, how you can relate the concepts with respect to whatever things you have learned in the real time scenario. These things will help you to build your profile, first of all, in a very great manner. Second thing, these things will help you to gain the confidence level that, okay, I have knowledge of this particular stuff, I can do it in a proper way, right? All these things are very, very important. Whenever someone usually asks me that, I am learning this things, I'm not getting an internship, I'm not getting a job, I always say that, don't focus too much about getting a job. You will get the job, you will get the opportunities, you will get everything. But if you have the time, try to create something new which is on demand. For example, gen AI, generative AI is in demand. Try to see that, what things are there in the generative AI. Don't lag behind with respect to this part as well. What is large language model, what is transformer, how internally chat gpt is working, how the complete architecture of transformers built upon. There is a research paper by the name of the attention is all you need, where you will be having a complete end-to-end architecture of encoder and decoder. There's a self-attention mechanism which is being described there. It's very attention is all you need. It's very famous research paper. That is where the people of Google, they have developed this transformer based architecture. And from that development itself, the complete idea of, I would say, gpt, generative pre-trained transformer, came into picture. Chat gpt came into picture. We will be having gpt 3.5, gpt 4, right? So please try to learn everything while doing the implementation as well. And Nikhil is saying one thing that, career gap बढ़ता जा रहा है, उसका क्या करें? When you're saying career gap, the simple meaning is that when you're saying gap, it means that you are out of the context of whatever things are going on with respect to AI, with respect to development, with respect to data science, with respect to data analyst, whatever you want to do. So if you are very out of that particular thing because of some personal issue or anything, that is what you can call it as a career gap. But let's say if you are doing something on your own, if you're trying to develop your own projects, this is not a career gap. You can say to the interviewer whenever you are interviewing that I was working on my personal project, and this is what I have developed in the meantime. At least you have something to show. You have that that duration period in your resume with respect to what thing you have done in that particular part, right?
Priya, I'm
Are
back.
you here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Sorry. So
it's okay.
let me share the what I can say, the demo. Can you able to
Yes,
see
please.
my screen actually? Now, now.
Yes, it's visible.
It's visible. So if you see, this is the application which I say the Flask app is running on the local. So if you see, I asked what is karma. So if you see the response, karma refers to the idea that results of the actions in the life will affect us in the future. So it's segregate, it's understand the context what we are asking. Then I ask what is love, then if it shows the love of God, a spiritual life is related to the pure stage of the love through the practice of the devotional services. So if you see the kind of the answers it give based upon the data which I have feed in, actually based upon the index which I have created. So this is how I get a response actually. I think so. The demo is visible, right?
Can you guys give me the confirmation? Is the demonstration is visible? So you can see, right, how she's entering the question with respect to the Bhagavad Gita, with respect to the personal life, and the kind of responses is so much genuine. It feels like that, okay, someone who already have learned everything with respect to the Bhagavad Gita very perfectly, they are giving us the responses. So automatically the kind of a flow chart which she just now have explained, with respect to that only you can just now refer that how basically these models will be working and will be able to give us the result. Even if you can mention any other thing with respect to the Bhagavad Gita which already is available, or if let's say you are facing some trouble also, and you can say that as per the Bhagavad Gita, what things I should do, as per dharma, what should things I do. I believe that these kind of models will be able to tell us a accurate path, right? At any point of time, let's say we are in a depression, we are facing some trouble, maybe these kind of chatbots will help us out. If there is no one, I think Bhagavad Gita is something which is having a solution of all the problems, right? So this is what she has done, again an amazing job. I would highly suggest that everyone should go to her GitHub repo as well, to check it out, the complete end-to-end flow. She already have explained the steps. You can just try to run it in your system, and maybe if you will feel that there is some more work and optimization which she's supposed to do, or which we can do on top of this use case, maybe you guys can explore and uh, tell to us that what things we can do on top of this and make it active, right? This is how the complete community will be built up. This is how the knowledge sharing will be done. It's kind of a knowledge sharing session where she has just shared what things she have done, and maybe on top of that clue, if you can do something more amazing, that's super awesome, right?
Yeah. So I have a suggestion. You can go my GitHub. I have share the steps how you can run the app. So just try run the app, and if you feel face any issues, just connect me on the LinkedIn. I will help you.
So any challenges, Reena, which you faced while working on this project?
Definitely. The challenging was so I was initially mostly working on the ML side of the data science part and the computer vision part. So I have not that much explored to the NLP side of the part of this. But as this LLM models, as this, it's like the kind of the research going on and kind of the awesome models which we are seeing the application. So my again interest with respect to the NLP and this model started. Then I started from the scratch how I can convert the text into the vectors. What are different kind of the how I can do that actually. So this is from the basic I have started. Then I explored the Hugging Face, how what are different kind of the models, LLM models which is available. So there are different kind there are two kind of the model which is right now available in the market, open source and the closed source. So if you see the chat gpt open AI APIs, so the chat gpt the model is they available in kind of the API. So that's a closed model, I can say. You cannot see the structures and all other thing. But Llama 2 and other kind of the model is an open source model. So there are some of the open source model available in market. There are some closed source model which is available. So I figure out which is what are they and what are it is available. So then I definitely see this is from, so it started from the base to reach that what are the things available. So everything started from the base, and then next step is to the deployment. So how we can deploy this into the cloud or where we can deploy it. So try to deploy it into the Hugging Face space. I got some issues. So these are different ways you need to figure out where you can deploy, how you can deploy. So there are different kind of the challenge which I'm facing. So right now I want trying this deployment into the AWS. Definitely I can deploy, but there are different ways, or I want to try it in a different ways in a different platform, cloud platform, how I can able to deploy. So these are some challenges which I can say while developing this project. So but I always recommend to the audience, so whatever the project is not about the NLP or the LLM or the machine learning, any kind of this, always start from the base. So what are the base for this all kind of the model transformer? So transformer, what it takes the vector, then how I can create the vector. So always go reverse, always start from the base, and then reach to the whatever the level which you want to go on. That's what I recommend.
Okay, so Ankit is asking, but for all, we should have to learn from the start. So we do not have time to learn all AI algorithms. So then what can we do? Like we have so much things, right, in data science, in AI domain.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
quite overwhelming. So how
yeah.
you can handle this problem because you are experienced as well, right? Yeah, please.
So so who are going into this field or who are working in this field, this is common for the everyone who experience the same thing. It's everything, the research coming on each day, paper is publishing each day, there is something new coming. So there is everything there is new to learn in this thing. So so how I tackle this thing is, I see the data science as whole as an ocean. So I segregate into the different parts. So ML, DL, computer vision, and NLP. So I focus on the one part, I complete it. I complete that part, then I know what is there in that part, ML part. Then I take the statistic part, I complete that, means end to end whatever needed for learning that. So I do that, practice that, I do hands on learning everything. Then I complete that, then I go to the next step, the deep learning. So I take one by one, so I not take everything at all. So I always used to follow this practice. So whatever I am learning, I always take uh, one uh, one
One thing
what
at a
I can
time.
say is one thing at a time. So that is what I feel. So it's good to focus on. Actually, I recommend everyone to follow this practice.
Okay, so the last question, Reena. So, how do you see the future of this AI driven interactive learning, especially after the involvement of this LLM based models, which we can see around us, right? So, what do you think? How the future is going up? Like, any advice which you want to give as a fresher, those who are watching us live? Okay, she again went up. It's completely fine. I think if let's not wait now. It's already a very huge amount of time we already have invested now. So I feel the session is overall good. She has joined. Let's see if she will.
Sorry,
Yes, Rina.
I sorry I
Today you are not having a good day, right? Again and again you are having a very bad network issue. It's completely
maybe
fine. Let's wrap up by answering that question.
no,
I hope you
maybe
have
yeah.
answered that question, right?
Yeah, maybe the network issue is there from my side. Sorry for that. All these stuffs, guys. So I see this technology, this kind of the model, how it help in the interactive or the learning way is definitely it's help in the customized learning, actually personalized learning. So we can create a different kind of the chat board which can personalize based upon the individual experience and the individual level. So this is one thing I can see. The accessibility is also important. That this chatbot ancient wisdom and the techniques is we can share or we can pass on to the different the larger audience. This is what I can feel. So and this chatbot can help providing the guidance towards the meditations and the techniques, different kind of the techniques. And definitely this chatbot can help cultural prevention. So we can feed all this because this kind of the model are capable of curating the large amount of the knowledge. So this we can help cultural prevention by this way, and definitely spreading this knowledge all across the world. So this is what I think. So is the this is how this kind of the model help with respect to with respect to the learning actually.
Great, great. Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I believe that you guys also whatever advancements are happening in terms of AI domain, if you want to associate with that particular domain, be more curious, try to check it out what kind of research are happening. And just like the way she said that she was starting from a very scratch, and then randomly she thought that why not to implement this use case on top of this llama 2 index model. It's just a learning, and plus you're doing an implementation also. So automatically interest starts coming in, and then once you will get interested in some specific domain, you will not focus much on how much time you are spending in terms of implementation, how much time you are spending in terms of learning. You're just enjoying that process, and it's very important that you will enjoy the process rather than focusing on what kind of results or output you are getting, right? So this is the overall idea behind today's talk. Basically, we just want to share to you all that, it's not about this project, it's about that how the learning should be done. It's about thinking out of the box, that okay, what things I can do. Let's say if I'm learning something new, what things I can do on top of this to do the implementation, to help the audience, to help the community, to help the interviewers, by mentioning that okay, this is what I learned and this is what I have implemented. Many people know so many stuffs, but they are not doing the implementation, and that is where they are lagging, because you don't have something to show to the interviewers also, that okay, this is what I know and this is how basically I have done the implementation with respect to that particular knowledge which I have gained. So this is something is very, very important at the end of the day, right?
One thing I want to share, the results which you are seeing is just based upon the Llama 2 models, which I am not still fine tuned based upon the data. If I even fine tune, even if I fine tune, the result will be more accurate. So that is my next step, to look on how I can fine tune so that I can get more context based or more accurate results. So this is just a general response which I'm getting from the models actually. So I have not fine tuned. So that's my next step. And even in that step, we are getting some good results, if you can see from the demo actually. So once we fine tune, definitely we are able to get definitely better results. And I definitely wanted to share one of the challenge is the latency. So how the response from getting the model, how you can reduce that time actually. So sometimes it's you get the response time from the model is quite high. So how you can reduce that? So that is also one of the things which we can look at. So this is kind of the different challenge or the aspect where you can focus on. But what I suggest is try gathering all the stuff, start implementing, then focus on one by one where you can do the improvement actually. So
Exactly.
not focus at all at the moment everything actually, not on the accuracy, not on the accurate results and everything. Start from the basic and then improve the results, whether it's any kind of the application, that's an ML or DL or the vision. That's what my feedback is.
Great. I totally agree with you. Start first and then try to do the improvisation on top of that. So Ankit is saying, please suggest some resources by which we can access the current technology in the AI domain. Anything which you have in your head?
Yeah. So I'll suggest is, see, the research is quite going on heavily in this AI domain. So how I stay up to date with this AI domain is follow the people who is in this domain,
Hmm.
like follows the companies which are working in this domain, like the Microsoft, Google, OpenAI. So yesterday or the 2 days before, only OpenAI announced the new update, Sora, which can convert the text to the video, actually, animation
Hmm.
video. So you need to follow the proper people for proper companies, so where you can get an updates from this whatever happening, whatever the research happening. So that's what I follow.
So
Proper
which platform you are
GitHubs,
using to follow them?
GitHubs, LinkedIn, and LinkedIn portal. So this is what I used to follow.
Twitter also you guys can use if you want.
Yes,
Twitter,
Twitter.
LinkedIn, right?
Yeah,
These are the
yeah.
very vast platforms, and I believe that is the way to get that advancement. It's correct. If you can follow these kind of people who are doing a great work in terms of data science, in terms of AI, in terms of whatever technology which interests you, then I think you will get that all those advancements as well. And another question is, any recommendations for cheap cloud GPUs you have?
Cheap cloud GPUs. So, Collab, you can get a free GPU, but that is also through some extents. But I can see you can use that thing for creating the POC stuff. So, I can recommend that Google Collabs actually
Yeah,
for
collab
creating.
is also, I have also worked upon a lot. And if you want to go beyond that, I think Golab Pro is also not that much costly if you can go and buy the subscription of that. Uh,
Yeah.
the You will get a better GPUs if that task will not done in a Google Colab itself, right? So
Yeah.
perfect, Reenal. Thank you so much for joining in, right? Uh, Thank you so much for coming here, sharing the things which you have done, and I think it's quite interesting. I'm looking forward for the more, advanced part of the same. For example, whatever challenges you have said in terms of latency, in terms of
Mm.
fine tuning. Maybe
Yes.
once you will be able to get a more improvised version. Maybe we can do a part two for the same, and then we will discuss the same thing on the channel itself, right? Looking
Yeah. So
forward to it. Great work,
I'm
yeah.
I- I'm thinking to create a chatbot on Mahabharat as well. So people has suggested me, my friends has suggested me. So let's
Good
see.
to
But I am not, but I am focusing right now the challenges which I mentioned. So let's get off that one by one challenges and then focus on the later part. So this is what I am looking forward to it. But I will want to share, if anybody wants to contribute or if anybody wants to help me, please ping me on the LinkedIn. That will definitely help me actually.
Yeah, so her LinkedIn ID is already available in the description of the video. So you can go connect with her. And if, let's say, someone is very interested in contributing with her in terms of this project or whatever advancements she was saying that she's planning to do in Mahabharata as well. So if you are really interested in doing it along with her, please collaborate. Collaboration, network is net worth, I always say. So if you will be able to make a good network with you, with respect to the people that you have, I think you will be able to have a great learning. You will be able to have a great wealth and great happiness also in your life, right? So with this, I think we can wrap up the session today. Thank you so much, Rinal, for joining in. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
everyone, for joining in this podcast. And we are really sorry for the interruptions that happen in between, due to
Sorry
the network
from my side.
issue, right? So I hope that all in all, the session is very useful for everyone. And still, if you have any sort of doubts, any sort of troubles, if anyone wants to ask anything with respect to the project part to Rinal, you can mention in the comment section of this video. She'll try to respond in the comment itself, or you can try to reach out to her via her LinkedIn as well. And do hit like button. Do share this video with each and everyone. Right, your support really means a lot to us. And with this, bye bye everyone, and see ya.
Thank you. Bye.